Welcome in to yet another BCS Playoffs preview game here. And we want to thank Nicholas for requesting this game, the SEC Championship between the LSU Tigers and the Georgia Bulldogs. And we are winding down the season. Coming up this week will be the last week of the college football season, and then after that the final BCS polls will come out. We'll have a selection show for you right back here on the Facebook page or on YouTube, wherever you follow. And 2 weeks after that, the BCS playoffs will kick off. The Beef O'Brady's Bowl on ESPN at 1, and the BBVA Compass Bowl is part of the first ever NIT also at 1. And we're taking a look at the SEC Championship game, and your number 1 ranked unbeaten LSU Tigers playing what it's kind of like a road game here in the Georgia Dome, but the Georgia Dome has not been kind to the Georgia Bulldogs. They lost their only game in the Dome earlier this season to the Boise State Broncos. Taking a look at Ruben Randall, the junior wide receiver. And LSU coming in this thing at number 1, one of 2 unbeaten teams left in college football. They have the easiest path to the national championship as the number 1 seed. If they can win, defeat Georgia, and remain at number 1 coming up this weekend, then LSU will have the easiest track to the national championship, because as a number 1 seed, not only will they get to play the weakest teams all the way through, they'll start off with the 32 seed, and then they'll get the winner of the 16 versus 17 matchup. And on the very first play of the game on a run back, we have a 15-yard face mask. So Georgia, Aaron Murray, and the Georgia Bulldogs start off in some great field position. For LSU, they have an advantage with the Final Four being in Louisiana this year, being in the Superdome. On the first play of the game, Aaron Murray has an open man for a 5-yard gain. LSU, not only with the number 1 seed, they get their first pick of a bowl game in the first round, and everyone's pretty much projecting that it's going to be the New Orleans Bowl. That is 3 out of 5 games. If LSU can make it all the way to the national championship, LSU would have 3 out of 5 games in the Superdome. What an advantage that is for the LSU Tigers. Round 1 New Orleans Bowl in the Superdome, and then the Final Four, if they make it that far, those last 2 games back at the Superdome. So LSU, they've got to take advantage of that number 1 ranking, and they can start it off here at the SEC title game. But Aaron Murray and the rest of the Georgia Bulldogs doing a good job slicing and dicing this LSU team. It was tight end Orson Charles from Tampa, Florida, who brought in that catch. It'll be 2nd down and 3 for the Bulldogs. Second time for Georgia playing in this stadium, or I should say in this dome this year. There's a handoff, and he gets nothing. Stopped behind the line. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Aaron Murray, he's pressured and he goes down. Didn't even see the defender coming. Hit him right in the back, and that was Tyrann Mathieu. People are saying that he's kind of like the defensive, that he should be LSU's big Heisman Trophy candidate for everything that he's been doing this year. Comes up with a huge sack that Les Miles liked that stops a very good Georgia drive, and they were really rolling easily down the field. And that sack ends it and forces the Georgia Bulldogs to punt it away. The ball will bounce into the end zone for a touchback. And that is where the LSU Tigers will take over, led by Jordan Jefferson. And they have not skipped a beat since they switched out Jarrett Lee, going back to Jordan Jefferson. They started off with a not to compare this to the pros, but a Tim Tebow-esque handoff that he likes to do with the Broncos these days. Fakes the handoff, and look at how long he holds it in there. And everybody went to Spencer Ware. Jordan Jefferson pulls it back out and then runs for the 1st down. The LSU Tigers, they are off to a great start. Another 1st down, and Jefferson, he's going to option out. And he had nothing. That was just good defense by the Georgia Bulldogs as they collapsed that option play, that's exactly what you got to do. You got to get your defenders rolled out and put your blockers in place. So Jefferson stopped on the option. That would be 2nd down and 13. Ball at the 30. Jefferson is going to run it. Had an opening, and it closed down quickly. He was tackled by the linebacker, Jeremy Slook, a senior. 209 pounds, senior linebacker. 3rd down and 12. Jordan Jefferson, they give it to Spencer Ware. The running game continues, and LSU is not going to get the 1st down. He was brought down on the play by cornerback Brandon Smith. And we'll see what Les Miles does. I had to imagine, though, he is going to punt it away. And they are. So LSU, they decide to run it. Quarterback scrambles, inside handoffs, option plays. They didn't attempt a single pass in that first drive. And much like Georgia, started off strong, but then stalled out. And that's just typical SEC defense at its finest on those 2 drives to start the game off. Well, now Georgia has another opportunity. They have 80 yards to go if they want to get in the end zone. That one was nearly intercepted, batted down at the line by Ron Brooks, an Irving, Texas senior. It'll be 2nd down and 10, and that is Isaiah Crowell, who for some reason is wearing the number 27. His number should be number 1. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the numbers got. Well, we'll get to that in a second. There's a good pass completion, but not good enough for a 1st down. What I have to imagine is perhaps they didn't. Whoever is the Adidas or whoever works for Georgia probably only shipped out 1 number 1 jersey to Brandon Smith, not realizing that there were 2 number 1s, and Isaiah Crowell just had to grab whatever jersey was left over. But we'll be sure that in the coming weeks that does get fixed. So Claiborne with the return, Marcus Claiborne, and LSU takes over. 1st down and 10 with 1:20 to go. It's Jordan Jefferson, and Jefferson runs it again, and he gets hammered down by the big linebacker. And a couple of drives going back and forth, stalling out a couple of times, but Jordan Jefferson so far early on has not felt comfortable enough to throw it. He's been trying to run it, and again, that was Jeremy Slook that came in on the tackle, the linebacker. Bring up 2nd down and 12, and they found themselves in this situation a couple of times on that first drive. Jefferson again lined up in shotgun. He is pressured, floats it out to Spencer Ware, and he was just looking for the only option he could find so he didn't go down, and Spencer Ware was covered. 3rd down and 12 now for the Tigers. Jefferson down the field. Open receiver, 1st down LSU.
Cartwright in the building.
Hello, Max Cartwright walking into the Georgia Dome. That one was caught by number 80 on the LSU Tigers, Jarvis Landry. And it's just his 5th reception of the year. First down and 10, and this is the closest that LSU's been to the end zone all game long. Jordan Jefferson pressured, and that one is batted down. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Jefferson runs it, and he gets inside the red zone, finally brought down by number 2 on the Georgia Bulldogs, and that's cornerback Brandon Boykin, senior from Fayetteville, Georgia. And LSU is just a short couple of yards away from the end zone. .30 seconds to go in the first quarter. Jefferson found his man for a 5-yard completion. That was Ja'Cory Gore. They're really digging down deep here today to involve some guys that you don't see that often from LSU. That's completed. First down and goal. And that's where our first quarter will end, as LSU just yards away from putting the first points of the football game on the board. It's LSU 0 and Georgia 0 at the end of the first quarter. The first quarter presented by Spark. So now we switch sides. LSU going the other way, and they're hoping to hit the red Georgia end zone and get those 6 points on the board. They give it to Spencer Ware, and Spencer Ware is met at the line and tackled by number 89 or 98. As defensive tackle Chandler Cook, the senior from right here in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm sure he's got a lot of family coming out to the game. Second and goal, screen pass, batted down at the line. That one knocked away by linebacker Ruben Fuller. Not even going to try to attempt that name. Third down and goal. What a goal line stand so far for the Bulldogs, but it ends right there. Touchdown, Russell Shepard, and touchdown, LSU Tigers. On third down, double covered, but he's able to get it past the coverage. And Russell Shepard from number 9 to number 10 for 6 points. LSU is up 6-0 over the Georgia Bulldogs. Here comes the extra point. Kick is up, kick is good.
It's 12:40. Look how much battery she has left.
4 minutes, 37 seconds left to go in the first half of this game, the SEC title game, which a lot of people on ESPN are saying it's a game that won't even count no matter what the result is. They're saying in real life that LSU is going to the title game no matter what, but in our world, LSU's got to work for that. They got 5 more games where they got to prove themselves if they want to be called national champions. Nice little dish pass from Aaron Murray to, not quite sure who that was, and get a number on him. And Les Miles, hoping that his defense can continue to stand up strong. They got a tough task ahead of them on a 2nd down and 3. They hand it off to Isaiah Crowell. Crowell hurdles over a defender and finally was tackled. It'll be 3rd down and 2. So one stop there that Les Miles likes, and they have to come up with another one on 3rd and 2 if they want to commit another turnover. Isaiah Crowell gets enough for the 1st down, and the Bulldogs' drive will continue, much to the delight of Harry Dog. 1st and 10, ball at the 35-yard line for the Bulldogs. Out of shotgun, they give it to Isaiah Crowell. Crowell fumbles the ball, and LSU recovers it. That one is recovered by the LSU Tigers. Linebacker Ryan Baker hopped on it. Let's see. Yeah, that one was out of there before any knees hit the ground. They might take one more look at it. They like to do that, or at least Edward Hockley Jr. likes to do that. And they're not going to take a look at it. And there's Spencer Ware for a 1st down. And you saw just a moment ago on the sideline, head coach Mark Richt just tearing into his team for that turnover. And more so, I would think, going after Isaiah Crowell, the freshman. They have, between their whole running back core and their wide receivers, this team is just filled with freshmen. You're going to have mistakes like that. That one is tossed to Spencer Ware. He races down inside the 10-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 2. That one was a halfback slip screen. Linebackers did a pretty good job of opening up the holes for Ware. So 2nd down and 2. LSU is in business. They are looking good so far in this game after having struggled just a little bit in our BCS playoff games previous to this. Jordan Jefferson, end zone. No, it's dropped. Incomplete. I believe he's looking for the tight end. 3rd down and 2, and why not give it to Spencer Ware on the handoff, see if he can pick up the easy 1st down, and then you got another 4 set of downs, or maybe they're going to let Jefferson run it. They throw it. Incomplete. Play action fake on the end around on the man in motion. Then a quick throw by Jordan Jefferson was knocked away, and the Tigers will have to settle for a short field goal. But wait a minute. Let's go to Ed Hockley Jr. Ray Drew jumps off sides, and that's going to be an automatic 1st down. And if Mark Richt was already upset before with the fumble, he's got to be more upset with that offsides. Jefferson on the option play to Spencer Ware. Touchdown LSU. And that is a gift wrap bonus. 3 points, possible 4 points with the extra point that Georgia just handed to the LSU Tigers off of a turnover and off of that offsides. Extra point is up. Extra point is good, and LSU turns this into a 2-score lead. We just got a text that will uploading to the Facebook page right now. It says Rick Neuheisel will be fired as UCLA coach, but he will remain with the team for Friday's Pac-12 title game. So, we'll let you coach one more game, coach, but after that you're fired. So UCLA is handling things down there. What if they pull off the upset, though? In real life, not only would they get the automatic bid to a BCS Bowl with a 7-6 record, but they would also, in our BCS playoffs, because they would be a conference champion, they'd also get an automatic bid to the playoffs. And I think the lowest a team has ever made the playoffs, the BCS playoffs, is with a 7-5 record. So if UCLA could pull off the upset over Oregon, not only would they get the automatic bid to the BCS playoffs, they would do it at probably the lowest record ever in BCS playoffs history. 1st and 10 on the sweep play, and immediately tackled. They gave it to Bennett on the run, and he didn't do too much. Michael Bennett, wide receiver, one of those freshmen. 2nd and 12, Aaron Murray back to pass. Pressure going down the field. Single coverage. Batted away. Incomplete. Aaron Murray was looking for it all, and if he would have found his receiver, that would have been an easy touchdown. But instead, it turns into a 3rd down and 12. Plenty of time. Murray going down the field again. Same play. This time it works out for him. Same exact play. Same side of the field. Great pass. And a really nice catch by Orson Charles, the tight end from Tampa, Florida, the junior. And Georgia is within striking distance of getting their first points of the game on the board. They are at the 16-yard line looking to score. And Georgia decides to call a timeout, their own personal little 2-minute warning. We got 2 wide receivers, a whole bunch of backs, and let's go to Ed Hockley Jr. Right now, mistakes just hurting the Georgia Bulldogs in this one. Another penalty backs him up to the 20-yard line. They give it to, I know they don't, they play action fake it. There's a completed pass. He breaks tackles inside the 10. What a great run by number 81, Aaron White, the tight end, the senior tight end. Murray, oh, incomplete. That one in and out of the hands of his intended receiver, and Aaron White Had 8 receptions on the year, 89 yards, 3 touchdowns. Almost got number 4 on that play, but he was stopped short. It'll be 3rd and 2. Look at the pressure. First down. No, it's dropped. Another drop pass, and the frustrations have got to be building for Aaron Murray as his wide receivers keep dropping things, and Mark Richt and company are deciding it's 4-down territory at this point in the game here. The pitch out to Isaiah Crowell gets the first down. Not a bad play call. A play action fake it to the fullback. Throw to the outside, but a nice move by Isaiah Crowell to bounce out to the left side and get the first down. So Mark Richt feeling it's already 4-down territory against the number 1 ranked team in the nation. They give it to Crowell again, and Crowell, did he fumble it? He fumbled it again, his second fumble of the game, but luckily for him, his offensive lineman jumped on it, Justin Anderson, which saved another big Georgia mistake. They give it to Crowell again, and Crowell is stopped. No, that was not Isaiah Crowell, that was Thomas on the run. Carlton Thomas, the other running back who's had his fair share of carries, 300 yards on the year and 2 touchdowns. 3rd and goal, pressure. They give it to Carlton Thomas, and Thomas is stopped short. And perhaps Mark Richt has yanked Isaiah Crowell from the game because of the mistakes. Carlton Thomas not doing much better. Ryan Baker came in on the stop, and now do they go for it again on 4th and goal? They will not. They elect to go for the short field goal from the left hash. And it looks like they are going to let time wind all the way down before they kick this thing. So they went for it on 4th down earlier. They got it. Fresh set it down 3 tries, and they couldn't punch it in for a touchdown. And the Georgia Bulldogs just looking to get some kind of points on the board, and somebody jumped. Let's go to Ed Hockley Jr. Third penalty of the football game for the Georgia Bulldogs. Doesn't hurt them too bad, but it does stop the clock, and now they have to back up on the field goal. And didn't matter to him anyway. Kick is good, and Mark Richt is just happy at the end of that 12-play, 70-yard drive. They got some kind of points on the board. 18 seconds to go here in the first half. The SEC championship game. A game that ESPN says will not count. But for these two teams, they want that ring. They want that trophy. They want to be called champions of the Southeast Conference. 14 seconds to go. They give it to Spencer Ware, and this appears to just be a run out the clock situation. And we head into the half. It's been all LSU in the first half, but we'll see if Georgia can make any kind of halftime adjustments. Here in the Georgia Dome, it's LSU 14 and Georgia Bulldogs 3. Take a look at these shots and sounds, and we'll be right back after your halftime report. Take it away, guys, in the booth. Welcome back to the SEC Championship between Georgia and LSU. Just 2 quarters remain in what has been a dominant first half from the LSU Tigers and a mistake-ridden first half for the Georgia Bulldogs, complete with fumbles, penalties, and quarterback sacks that you see right there. Jordan Jefferson hasn't quite been the dominating force, and we know he can be, but he has had some great moments. And the defense for LSU, though, they're saying where's the Georgia Bulldog offense, because they've held them to 3 points in this first half. We'll see if LSU can add to their 14-point lead in this game. First play, they give it to Spencer, inside draw play, and Spencer Ware picks up the first down. Check out the blocks. A low-cut block by his offensive lineman that allows Ware to barrel forward and grab the first down. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line for LSU. Lined up in the gun. Jefferson sends a man in motion. They give it to his wideout, and he gets stopped. Gave that one on the run to Boone. Header on Boone. Stop for a gain of nothing. So now in the pistol. Screen pass completed. Fumble recovered by the Georgia Bulldogs. And now they take advantage of an LSU turnover. Was that Boone again? Yes, they gave it to Boone on the screen. He was hit, and that thing just came right out. Williams on the Georgia Bulldogs forced that fumble. Sean Williams, the junior safety. And Georgia has a big opportunity to take advantage of this LSU turnover. Great field position at the 45-yard line. Murray has an open man. First down. Inside the red zone. Down to the 9-yard line. Fullback Alexander Ogletree. Who would have thought that a fullback had that kind of speed? Down to the 9-yard line for Ogletree. They give it to the freshman Isaiah Crowell, and he's tackled at the shoelaces. Second down and goal, and Georgia's got to get a touchdown at this point. They cannot stall out again and go for another field goal. LSU, though, they're hoping for another big goal line stand. Crowell, he is met in the back and tackled by Taylor. Brandon Taylor, the safety. Third down and goal for Georgia. They're at the 5. Murray. Crowell once again, and he gets stopped. 3 straight running plays, and they get held at the goal line once again. They'll have to settle for another field goal. Kick is away, and kick is good. It makes it an 8-point game. Georgia still held out of the end zone by this tough LSU defense. LSU fans don't seem too happy with it, but I don't know why. They should be excited. That's two defensive stops. This should be a tie game right now if Georgia could have scored. Instead, still an 8-point lead for LSU. Georgia was at least able to get some points out of that fumble recovery, out of the turnover. And we've seen some fumbles. Maybe it's these new slick SEC footballs they're making. We've seen a lot of fumbles here today in the Georgia Dome. Jefferson. Spencer Ware picks up a block, and Jordan Jefferson races forward and picks up a first down on a 13-yard run. You see Spencer Ware with a great block, and then the rest was just Jordan Jefferson's speed and skill to race forward and nab the first down. New set of downs, 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Jefferson drops back, going down the field, wide open, wide receiver, down to the 21-yard line, and that's Boone making up for his fumble on the last drive. Threw it right past the coverage. And LSU wants to increase this lead. They've held the lead the entire football game. They're down to the 22-yard line. George Jefferson sees yellow and purple in the distance. Spencer Ware has it. We have a flag, and that's probably going to be a hold. Let's go to Ed Hockley Jr. Chris Falk, the guilty party, on the hold. So that 22 yards to get to the purple and gold gets pushed back to 30 yards. But they still see it. LSU still sees the purple and gold. They want that 6 points. Play action to Spencer Ware. That one nearly intercepted. It was just flat out dropped by Georgia Bulldog cornerback Brandon Boykin. And that could have been a nice momentum swing for the Bulldogs had he hung on to the ball. 2nd and 18 for LSU. This time they do give it to Spencer Ware, and Spencer Ware is hit and tackled in the backfield. Brought down, trying to get a number. Well, brought down by somebody. But it's 3rd down and 22 for LSU. 22 for LSU. Jefferson. Across the middle, incomplete. 4th down, and the Georgia defense holds LSU. What do you do here on 4th and 22? They're going to go for a long field goal, a 51-yarder. Kick is away. Kick is just over the crossbar. A 51-yard field goal is good, and LSU increases their lead 17-6. It was Drew Elliman that put it through, and on 50-plus yards, he only attempted 1 all year. He's 0 for 1 on 50-yard field goals, 3 for 3 on 40 to 49-yard field goals. That was his first kick made this season from 50 yards out, and increases the Tigers' lead. 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Pitch out to Isaiah Crowell. Crowell gains 3 yards on the pitch out. 2nd down and 7. Football at the 32-yard line. Aaron Murray drops back to Crowell for a Georgia Bulldog 1st down, and Aaron Murray 10 for 14, 149 yards. He's had a pretty nice day throwing the ball. It's just been a lot of drop passes from his receivers that's been holding him down, and also the fact that they haven't been able to find the end zone. The fact that they get to the end zone is Murray just throws that one away. They get inside the red zone, and then they stall out. They can't score. Minute 23 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 10. Man in motion. The far side. Murray gives it to Crowell. Crowell fumbles it again. That's his 3rd fumble of the game, and the 2nd one that's recovered by the LSU Tigers. What is up with Isaiah Crowell today? He was hit hard by Ryan Baker, the linebacker, and it's recovered, and now LSU really has a chance to stick a nail in the coffin, so to speak, in this game. They can drive down and score and make it 24-6. That would be a lot to overcome on this LSU defense. Jefferson, he's going to run it. He has an opening, slides down at around the 40. Jefferson loves to scramble. He saw nothing, and he decided to take off. Slid down and was able to gobble up 8 yards. Gobble, gobble. Still thinking that after Thanksgiving. 2nd and 2 for the Tigers. 2 backs in the backfield. They give it to Ware, and that's going to be a Tiger 1st down. Mike the Tiger is thinking that LSU could put this thing away and become SEC champions tonight. They can control the clock on this drive and then score a touchdown. They can really put this thing out of reach for the Bulldogs. Jefferson to Ware. Ware gets down to the 31. That was a 7-yard run. 2nd and 3, and that's what I think LSU is trying to do, just run this clock out. They're in the pistol now. They give it to Ware again, and Ware this time can't get past the line. He's tackled, and we'll see if LSU lets this final 15 run off the clock. Or are they going to try to snap one more play? They're going to go for one more. Jefferson tries to run it, and he's going to get quarterback sacked. That was number 91 from the Georgia Bulldogs, who helped with the sack, defensive lineman Jeff Rapp, along with number 95, Ruben Falateglio, the sophomore linebacker. We got 1 quarter of action left. It's Georgia 6 and LSU 17 in the SEC championship game. Who's going to pull out the win? Well, we're about to find out. LSU is going to punt it on 4th down, and that gives Georgia a brief glimmer of hope as the football bounces into the end zone for a touchback. Easy. 5 minutes to go here. Inside handoff, and look at that. They are ripping away at the freshman, hoping to cause fumble number 4. He's fumbled it 3 times, and it's been recovered twice by LSU. And you can see the Les Miles told his defense, get in there and rip away at that football, at that freshman, Isaiah Crowell. And we have a flag. Ed Hockley Jr., take it away. Another Georgia Bulldogs penalty. We're definitely going to be looking at that in the post-game stats when this game comes to a close. Way too many penalties for the Bulldogs in this game. They hand it to Crowell, and he gets wrapped up and slammed down by Sam Montgomery. 3rd, and Georgia is going to have to go to the air if they want to salvage this SEC title game here in their own home state, in Atlanta, Georgia, in the Georgia Dome. Look at the leapfrog and quarterback sack. Number 77, take a look at the replay. Josh Downs leapfrogged over defender, and then along with Sam Montgomery took down Aaron Murray. 4th and 29, and the Bulldogs are just going to punt this one away. There's nothing they can do in this situation. And right now it's clock game for LSU. Morris Claiborne brought that one back. First and 10, Jefferson completes it to Boone, I believe. No, that was Landry he got it to. Jarvis Landry. They're freshmen, so they're going to the freshman. 2nd down and 3 out of the pistol. Jefferson on the option play, throws it to Spencer Ware. Spencer Ware's going to go all the way. Touchdown LSU, and that should seal the SEC championship for the Tigers. Just tossed it out to Ware. You see Ruben Randall, who came up with the block. You definitely got to credit Randall on that touchdown by Ware. 23-6. A dominating performance by the LSU Tigers, much as they've been doing all season long. Look at the fans. They are ready. They're ready for them to bring the trophy out, for the Tigers to be crowned SEC champs once again. It's been a few years, but they're waiting for it. Georgia Bulldogs, they got 3 more minutes to try to salvage something out of this game, maybe put some more points on the board. But it looks all but done right now for the Tigers. Batted away, almost intercepted. That was Claiborne who almost brought down the interception. And Georgia Bulldogs, they're down to 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go, and they've got about 3 touchdowns that they need to score. Aaron Murray gives it to Isaiah Crowell. Crowell fighting, and look at there, trying to pull the ball out. Isaiah Crowell had it. And defensive back Harold Simon. Let's watch this fight up close. Sam Montgomery, a rare miss for him, but they are fighting over the football, and finally Crowell goes down, and that's something that a lot of teams are going to be looking to do in the maybe it's that number 27 that he had to wear today because they shipped the wrong number jerseys. But Crowell he has not played up to par tonight. 3rd and 16. Aaron Murray rolling, pressure deep down the field. Single coverage. It's complete to the 20, but we got a flag. Let's go to Ed Hockley Jr. So the Tigers will help out the Bulldogs a little more as they move down to the 10-yard line. And now everybody just racing down the field. LSU defense got there quicker than Georgia. Come on, the Georgia Bulldogs, they're just trotting down the field here. This is unprecedented. The defense, normally you do the no-huddle, catch the defense off guard. Defense got there quicker than the offense. End zone. Knocked away, and again, almost intercepted. Aaron Murray's been lucky on this drive twice. Could have been picked off. We've had no interceptions in the game today, but we've had lots of fumbles. 2nd and 10. The Bulldogs finally looking for that first touchdown of the game. That one completely overthrown on the screen. Incomplete pass. 3rd down and 10, and the red zone troubles continue for the Georgia Bulldogs on this drive. Murray, lots of time, goes to the end zone, batted down, incomplete, 4th and 10. Taylor was in to knock it away along with Claiborne. Fourth and 10. Can the Bulldogs finally score a touchdown? They're going to hand it off to the freshman on 4th and 10, trying to catch LSU off guard after 3 unsuccessful rushing plays. And the LSU defense stands tall for the 3rd time today. The Bulldogs were down within the 10-yard line, and they couldn't score. If LSU or Georgia scores on all 3 of those, it's a whole different game right now. Instead, they're just having all kinds of trouble down inside the red zone. That's something they're going to have to address as the BCS playoffs are right around the corner. They're going to let the time roll down here, and let's take a look at our initial playoff projections as our time is winding down, because we said that this is something that the Georgia Bulldogs got to work on. If the playoffs started today at number 14, Georgia would be taking on Nebraska in the Beef O'Brady's Bowl in another dome stadium. So maybe it's just the Georgia Dome, because this will be the 2nd loss this year that's not been kind to them. Maybe it's just dome stadiums that they're not doing too well with. The playoffs started today. LSU would be going up against an in-state team. They would be battling Louisiana Tech in the New Orleans Bowl in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Spencer Ware shedding a tackle, getting the 1st down, and that will be it for the Tigers. That should be a ball game. But that should be an interesting matchup. LSU and Louisiana Tech, the SEC champs and the WAC champs, and the LNR Carriers New Orleans Bowl. Like we said, if LSU can go all the way, 3 out of their 5 playoff games would be in the Superdome. The New Orleans Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, and then the National Championship. If they can get through those 2 middle games and make it all the way to the National Championship, 3 out of 5 games in 1 stadium, LSU has everything laid out in front of them. And if they play like they did today, a 24-6 thumping of the Georgia Bulldogs, then, man, I mean, there's nothing stopping LSU. And like we said, by their reward for having the number 1 seed is they get those first picks of the bowl games, and they certainly have the advantage with the Final Four being sponsored by Allstate this year. It'll be in Louisiana in the Superdome, and Spencer Ware is going to be your player of the game. 14 carries, 91 yards, and a touchdown. He was slowed down last week by Arkansas in our BCS Playoffs preview game, but he came to play tonight. And it's all lined up right now for the LSU Tigers, the number 1 seed. 3 potential bowl games in the same stadium, in the same state. Nothing is stopping LSU but themselves at this point. As we see the highlights, Spencer Ware with his 2 touchdowns of the day, and that one was so impressive to me. The leapfrog and then the quarterback sack, and that's the thing that really stopped the Bulldogs, because they were trying to drive and make something of this game, and that sack pushing them back at the 1 is what stopped them. And here it is, the play of the game one more time on the option. Spencer Ware for the touchdown. Taking a look at our final screenshots. The LSU Tigers, they are your Southeast Conference champions in 2011. Number 11 on LSU outplayed number 11 on Georgia. Take a look at the scoring summary. Most of the scoring done in the second quarter, but you see LSU started it off strong. Georgia with a couple of field goals, but couldn't catch up to them. And taking a look at our player stats, Jordan Jefferson, 9 for 16, 2 touchdowns, 105 yards. For Aaron Murray is 13 of 22 for 203 yards, but the thing that killed Georgia is right there. 0 touchdowns. They could not find the end zone today. For the running game, Isaiah Crowell, 15 attempts for only 21 yards, an average of 1 yard a carry. His longest run was 8 yards, and of course he had the 3 fumbles in the game, but he got outclassed by the other running back on the other side, Spencer Ware, 14 runs for 91 yards and a touchdown. And then Jordan Jefferson, 8 attempts for 42 yards on his rushing day. Wide receivers for the Tigers, Spencer Ware, he had 2 nabs for 12 yards and his other touchdown. And then Landry Boone, Russell Shepard. We didn't hear anything out of Ruben Randall today, so we'll see if there's anything from there that they can make up in the next couple of games in the BCS playoffs. Isaiah Crowell, he did make up for his lack of running in the receiving game. 4 grabs for 11 yards. And then Malcolm Mitchell for 3 receptions. 84 yards was the leader on the Georgia Bulldogs. All the freshmen here. And then Orson Charles, the tight end. Other than that, not much on the rushing or on the wide receiver day. Taking a look at defense for the Georgia Bulldogs. Couple of sacks here or there, but other than that, not much for Georgia. But the defense for LSU, you see Brandon Taylor had 7 tackles, 5 tackles for Downs. Josh Downs with that really athletic hurdle to get to the quarterback. He also, that was the sack right there. Tyrann Mathieu, who had the sack that maybe stopped all the momentum for the Bulldogs early in the game when Georgia was driving for that initial score. So credit him. And there you see the rest of the numbers. And then finally, the team stats, the comparative stats. First downs, LSU got them 10-8. They got them in the yards game, 238 to 206. Rushing yards, they beat them out there. They beat them in passing. Well, passing yards, Aaron Murray got Jordan Jefferson 203 to 105. Third down conversions, though, LSU got them there. Fourth down conversions, twice Georgia had to go for it. LSU didn't have to go for it at all. There's your red zone percentage. 3 red zone trips, just 2 field goals for the Bulldogs. We're on the other side. 2 red zone trips and 2 touchdowns. That's what won it for LSU, was red zone efficiency. Turnovers, 2 fumbles for the Georgia Bulldogs that led to a couple of LSU scores. The 1 fumble for LSU led to a Georgia field goal. No interceptions in the game. LSU got them in total yards. And then the penalties is what really got the Georgia Bulldogs in this game. Time possession was exactly the same, minus that 1 second. Well, there's your SEC championship game, and LSU Tigers win a 24-6, almost a bit of a blowout game, but it was pretty one-sided for the LSU Tigers. And that's it for today, and we'll see if we can't slip in a couple of more requests as the weeks roll on. Be sure to go to the link there at the bottom, like the Facebook page, or subscribe, and watch what happens in the upcoming playoffs.